Hello everyone, I'm RecV5.
And I'm Sandman99, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas, and for this Christmas season, we're going to do some Madden NFL 2004.
Yes, for December only.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to jump right into playing week 1 of the exhibition season for our team, Santa and his elves.
Yep.
And so, if you have a look quickly here at the depth chart, of course, our team is led by Santa Claus at quarterback.
Of course.
Yeah. And then if we go through here, basically this is a cupcake team, but with, some additions. And of course, playing left outside linebacker is also Santa Claus. The Santa Claus plays Iron Man football.
Yep.
Because he is a magical, chief elf and all that kind of stuff. And Santa Claus also looks after our kicking and punting duties.
Yep.
So, anyway. And we have, some very nice Christmassy themed uniforms. But anyway, our first opponent in week 1 of preseason is the Jacksonville Leopards.
Yeah, and they're not a pushover in this game.
Yeah, and you can see a difference with Madden 2004 as opposed to Madden 05, in that in Madden 2004 they actually gave you a bit of a breakdown.
That's right, yeah.
How the two teams compare. So we're much better on special teams and quarterback, but we're much worse at everything else.
Yep.
So, anyway.
Yeah, we went and re-randomized all the teams in this one so that they could have fresh stats. And the Leopards here, I believe, came out as like a strong D team or something.
Yeah, a lot of teams did, actually. We have a lot of strong D and smash mouth teams in this league. But anyway, I'm on offense, of course, and RecV5X will be playing defense.
Yeah, we don't know if we'll be doing that for the whole series, but we're going to give it a try this way for now.
At least at the start. And I tried to port over my offensive playbook, but I've had to make some new things in it because of the differences between Madden 2005 and Madden 04.
Yeah, they are significantly different games.
Yes, they are. And in fact, having played around now because we've been working on this for a couple of weeks, getting ready. Having played around with Madden 04 a little bit, it really makes me wonder
EA Sports welcomes you to another great NFL matchup.
Why they did some of the things they did in Madden 05.
Yeah.
The visiting team.
But we'll get into that a little later. Here we are at home at the North Pole.
Yep.
For more great NFL action
And I believe it said that it was a frosty 0 degrees here in September, right?
Well, that's not too surprising.
And you can see his breath in the air, right?
See this guy throw the football. He's got all the tools that you look for in a quarterback.
Big and jolly.
Yeah. That he has some great receivers to throw to.
The home team.
Yeah, that great receiver
that he likes to throw to, and here's one of them. There's no question these two have developed that chemistry, and he's always finding an open spot in the defense to give his quarterback a target to hit. It wouldn't be surprising.
He's basically the only good wide receiver on the team.
These guys are really fired up, but they got to watch it jumping around like that. They're liable to pull something.
And the captains are out there ready for the coin toss.
Okay. So it looks like the Leopards won the toss and elected to receive, so I'm going to defend this end.
Both teams ready for tonight's showdown, so let's head to the field for the kickoff.
And we'll have to get our audibles set up here.
Yeah, there's a way to save audibles, but we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if it isn't just if you have to use a default playbook maybe, and then you could save audibles from a default playbook.
Yeah, quite possibly.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I seem to remember being able to save audibles so that you don't have to re-choose them every time you play a game, but I think you have to be using default playbooks in order to do that. However, we're used to setting our audibles up at the beginning of every game already, so... And sometimes we'll change them during the course of the game, too.
Yeah, I've come to lean much more heavily on my dime defense than I ever previously did.
Yeah.
Just because this game is a little bit more offense-oriented and pass-happy, and you really got to have that dime out there.
Yeah, actually stopping the pass is very hard in this game. And actually stopping the offense in general is pretty hard. And so basically your strategy, your base strategy did translate over fairly well without too many changes.
That's right, but that's largely just because I play like a ton of coverage.
Yeah.
And how are these guys? Do they got like a... Yeah, okay, they got a little bit of speed.
Yeah, their wide receiver too is fast. Yeah.
And sadly, our cornerback too is a slowpoke.
Yes, that's one thing about the Elves. They have a very slow secondary. They've only got one guy with a speed rating higher than 80.
Number 7. He's back and ready to put this.
They do make up with 272 speed safeties, though.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to kick off and start the season. Santa Claus kicks the ball off.
Yep.
Just about ready to go there.
Kind of chasing them around there because we don't have a lot of fast guys on the kickoff coverage team by the looks of it either. It's actually more beneficial, I found, to kick the ball into the end zone for a touchback in this game than it is in Madden 05.
Uh-oh, we've got pen on. Not face mask. Face mask on the first play of the game. Santa's Elves played dirty, apparently.
Yeah, how do you like the uniforms, eh? Very Christmassy.
Yeah, they are. Oh, and somebody got hurt too. Wow. We're already getting off to a lightning quick start.
Yep. Yeah, they come out throwing and pick up like almost 20 yards on a pass play.
Dropping back to pass on first down. With the pass, incomplete.
Oh, he was pretty well covered there and couldn't hang on to that one.
Yep.
But yeah, I found that like I play a totally different style of defense than you do, but I basically tend to play an all or nothing kind of a thing where I'm trying to get turnovers, right? Because I found that for me at least, the easiest way to defend the pass is to just take the ball away from him. Wow, you got a fumble. And you picked it up. It's Mr. Frowny Face. Oh, and look
and
at
then
that.
There's a face mask.
Yeah, accept the penalty by all means.
Yeah, we have this defensive back who has this like super duper frowny face.
Yeah, he's a very sour looking individual, number 45 there, and he's the guy that recovered that fumble. I believe he's your dime back, right?
Nickelback, I think. No, you might be right on dime back.
Okay, I'm going to get a little extra blocking help here, and maybe I can throw the out.
To the air on first down. Pressure coming with the throw. Touchdown.
Yep.
Home team. He threw it right in there for the score.
Santa Claus throws a strike. But you see the difference already in the defensive alignment here?
Yeah, look at how wide the line is.
Because that's not a spread line. That's a standard line, defensive line.
That's how they always line up.
And they've shifted to this side, right? That's why the defensive end there is hanging out there. But even in a neutral position, the defensive ends are actually lined up over the outside shoulders of the tight ends.
Yep.
And so it's a very wide line. And that's why I audibled this tight end to block, because if you watch, especially it's bad if they send a linebacker too. The outside pass rush will quite often get to you long before you even have a chance to throw a short pass, right? Like this.
Yep. And they do a lot of this jumping up and trying to bat the ball down at the line kind of thing, too.
Yeah, I get a lot of passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage by jumping defensive linemen in this game, which is something that doesn't happen so much in Madden 05, right?
But the pooch kicking still works.
Yep, the pooch kick still works, although I find the kick meter in this game is much easier to control. as well. They don't seem to have done that random speed change thing that they did in Madden 05.
Your job as an offense is to take advantage of it. And they did it right there.
Decent kick. We should have
Okay, well, I screwed that one up a little bit, but
from the 4-yard line.
Still much better. Oh, is that another face mask?
that's a face mask, yep.
Damn.
So they just got another 5 yards tacked on to their kickoff return there.
Sometimes the defender will do whatever it takes to get a guy down. This time he got caught pulling him down by the mask.
Melissa, any news from down there?
I just spoke with the
Well,
trainer.
looks like that guy's out for the game, whoever he is.
Yeah.
But as of now, his return is doubtful.
Thanks, Melissa. Thomas goes in motion. Backing off. Dropping back to pass on first down.
Throws a screen.
Yep, and we had the man coverage guy. He's just too slow to actually get down there and make the tackle.
Yeah, but if you look at the replay of this too, I mean, he really threw that quick, right?
Yep.
You know, like that's... Like, he basically threw that. It was basically a snap and a throw, right? And, so if he's open, he's going to pick up a few yards because your coverage doesn't have time to close on him, right?
Yeah, and that's really something that happens quite a lot in this game.
Yeah.
The AI has a tendency to hot potato that ball.
Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to get sacks in this game, too, because the quarterbacks have a tendency to throw the ball away, right? Well, that time you managed to get a hit on him as he was throwing, and he threw it in the dirt, right?
Taking shots like that will really affect his rhythm with his receivers.
And they also do try to throw to the flats quite a bit, just like in Madden 05, but it's actually harder to defend flat passes in this game because flat zone defenders don't behave the same way.
That's right. They tend to break up field if there's nobody on their side of the field.
Number 88, the man in motion. Hughes.
Oh, you managed to get the stop.
Yep. Oh, look at that. That's one of our cornerbacks. I think that's our number 1 corner.
Yeah.
Came in and did that. Got to cycle through more players in this version in order to get to your punt returner, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem to remember players' selections as well. You know, let that...
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, danger, danger. I mean,
Well, not as much danger as Madden 05, but yeah, it can be. I thought he was going to get blocked because he had some contact on him with that guy.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know,
punt returning is not as dangerous in this game as it is in Madden 05. It's like you can actually return punts sometimes.
yeah, in one of our practice games, I returned one for a touchdown.
And this is something else too, right? You see how...
That was just a big time
Okay,
play
let's
by
have a
the
look at
defense.
this replay here just to see what went wrong, because this is a habit that I got into in Madden 05, because in Madden 05 they have a very closely bunched, dense line even when it's shifted.
Yep.
You know, like basically this guy would be standing here and this guy would be standing here, and those two defensive tackles would actually be closer together in the middle as well.
Yep.
And in Madden 04, with the wider spaced defensive line, it's much harder to contain those defensive ends because they come on a wide pass rush angle more often than not. And I still have to learn to remember to stand in the pocket in the middle here, even if I want to throw a pass toward the outside, right?
Yep.
And it's a habit, and it's a hard habit to break. Because, you know, like the Madden 04 defense is actually, in my opinion, much harder to pass against.
They also have a lot more varied coverages in this defense. You'll see things like 4 deep zones with the linebackers in man coverage.
Yep.
And other things like that, which is something that just got completely taken out in Madden 05. And also, because they don't have the ability to crowd the line here, you don't get those big freebies that you can in Madden 05.
Gets rid of it, and the catch is made. The 30.
Okay, well, we got some of it back. Guess it could have been worse.
Yep.
Well.
And I mean, that's not to say that Madden 05 is all bad. I mean, defensive backs tend more often to stick their hands up in Madden 05 and knock passes down. And they also tend to take, they tend not to over pursue. So,
Yep, that's right.
in Madden 04, usually they over pursue. In Madden 05, if they have a tendency to miss-pursue a play, they actually under-pursue it.
Oh, I think I got hit as I was throwing that. Right, see, I audibled this tight end here to block.
Yep,
Right?
and he did.
And he did, but they were sending 2 extra people, right?
Yep.
And this guy came through untouched and hit me just as I was throwing, so I couldn't get that, you know, like I couldn't get that throw away the way I wanted to. And that's something that they do a lot of in this game too, is they play big time pressure, but they disguise it better than they do in Madden 05, because in Madden 05, because of the weird way that they have that tight defensive line,
They have to over-exaggerate everything
yeah,
they do.
they have to telegraph what they're doing like crazy. Whereas here, you can't tell. Like, if the defensive ends take a looping outside path, or if they're going to come pinching in, or whatever, you don't know what they're going to do, right?
Yep.
They don't telegraph, and as a result, I tend to get hit while throwing a lot more. I get sacked a lot more often. You know, like it's just generally more difficult. And also a lot of the exploits that I used to do, like the corner passes out of the wishbone and that kind of thing, are much more difficult to do too. Oh wow, he just lost the ball again.
That's another thing that is more common about Madden 04 though, that it isn't so much in Madden 05, is Madden 04 has a lot more turnovers.
Yep.
Like a lot. Like in some of the games that I was running and simming for practice, you saw like upwards of 8 interceptions in some games.
Yeah, well, and fumbles too. Like in the last practice game that we played, I think I fumbled the ball 3 times and I only got 1 of them back, right?
Yep. And also, the AI fumbled the ball twice in that game too.
Yep. Yeah, so there was like 5 fumbles in that game.
3rd down and long coming up here. Ball on their own 31.
Which we did lose, incidentally. I think they beat us 19-10 or something.
Yep, well, you know, back in 2004, they just, like, rubbed the pig skin in pig grease, right?
Yeah. Well, that one was a bit behind him, right?
Yep.
But he couldn't make the catch.
It doesn't help the quarterback's confidence when he gets the ball to his receiver, but he can't hang on. He's got to know that he can count on him to make the catch.
So 3 and out, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the kick.
Oh.
And he chooses
Yeah,
not
see
to
that?
return this one.
There was no need to try and return.
Yeah, they
that
really
one.
didn't block
He
that
made
guy
the
at
right
all.
decision
No.
there.
Sometimes you can actually return punts because you can get a little bit of blocking there, but other times it's amazing how 2 guys are completely and totally unable to block 1 guy, right?
Yep.
He hands it off.
I totally think it's the cupcake factor, though.
Yeah, that could be. See, another thing that's different about Madden 05 too, or Madden 04 as opposed to Madden 05, is the running game, because with the wider space line like this, you can actually have a little bit of success running in the middle. But if they call the right defenses, well, their linebackers fill those gaps really well, right?
Yep.
And so I can pick up 3 or 4 yards quite often, but it's very difficult to
Break off big runs.
break off big runs, because for one thing, they don't cheat the safeties up to the line, they leave them back, and more often than not, they leave the corners out wide too, right? So everybody is in containment, right?
Yep.
Under pressure, flings it to the outside. He hits his receiver.
That screen there is a good play.
Well, it works against zone defenses very well, because I'm kind of cheating here. I've got 4 wide receivers over on this side, and then just a tight end on this side.
Yep.
And if they play a zone defense and I get a look like this, well, then I can, like really quickly zip the ball out to that guy. And as it turns out, nobody here actually blocked anybody. There was no blocking going on over here, but they did run that corner far enough off, I guess, that I could pick up the 3 yards that I needed to get a first down, right?
Let's get back to the
they're wide receivers.
Yeah, sometimes the blocking sets up though, and it actually works okay. But I've gone back to some old-timey favorites too, like the big eye, because I found that in order to exploit some of these gaps between the tackles and the ends and stuff like that,
The wider tight ends help.
I think that was a fumble too, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think it was like way midair.
Yeah, I think if I were to challenge that, I'd just be wasting a challenge. So that's 3 fumbles already here in the first quarter, right?
Yep.
One for us and 2 for them.
Following the turnover now, it's 1st and 10.
It's fumbleitis out there.
Yeah, it is. It's fumbleitis out there.
Pressure coming with the pass. This pass is incomplete. Tough break for the offense. He just couldn't bring that pass in.
Well, he was pretty well covered there.
Yep.
He just couldn't close the deal and bring
Although
it
they
in for the
actually catch those sometimes in this game. It's not like a sure thing that you're going to be able to stop them, even when you've got really tight coverage like that in Madden 04.
Yeah.
It's really comes down to more of a dice roll, and thankfully these guys are a strong D team. They don't have like mega talent at wide receiver, right?
Yeah, if that had been a strong offense team, like look at that catch there, right? Although they got a penalty, so you can bring him back. But if you look at the replay of that catch,
Back to the field.
Penalties come down to discipline.
There we go.
This is the kind of thing that bugs me a lot about Madden 04 is that, like that is a rushed throw, that is a sort of a broken... a broken route with a defender right on top of that guy, right?
Yep.
And I personally I think that the likelihood of a receiver being able to actually catch a pass like that should be pretty low, right?
But they do on the regular catch them.
Yeah, that's not a high percentage pass in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
But they do catch those rather a lot in this game.
All the time.
47-yard line. The corners are backing off.
Oh, look at this. Running the sweep from the split backs formation.
Yep, but we had our corner out there.
Yeah. But yeah, I would have to say that, in my opinion, Madden 04, in spite of all of the bragging they did about fear the D and all that kind of stuff in Madden 05, Madden 04, in my opinion, they play better defense. At least I'm not able to throw for, half 1,000 yards a game against them like I can in Madden 05, right?
Yeah.
Time they're facing a fourth down.
In fact, in all the practice games we've played so far, I don't think I've even had a 300-yard passing game yet.
No, you haven't.
Here's the punt.
Okay, I guess Santa Claus
I
has
guess you're
decided
going
not
to
to
let that one bounce into the end zone, yeah.
Yeah.
This one comes back after the 20.
Yeah, they actually, here's an interesting thing about the punts in this game, is they actually don't call a touchback until the ball's been downed. If it hits the end zone as a touchback, but they don't call it until the ball's been down, so the clock continues to run.
That could be due to a rule change or something too, though, right?
Could be, yeah.
Hand it off to the back.
But you see how that defensive end contained that run, right? See, they brought they're in man coverage, so they have the corner over here lined up on the wide receiver. But when I'm going to run to the outside, actually, they blitz the linebacker there. You see that?
Yep.
But one thing that you'll notice in Madden 05 is that in Madden 05, the run blocking is a mess. Okay, you try to run a run play like this, and you'll have like number 71 will go rushing up here and try and block a safety or something, and the center may not actually block anybody because he might drop a block, or the tackle here might drop his man, right, in Madden 05, and then you have defenders like defensive linemen charging into the backfield and tackling the quarterback even before he can hand the ball off.
Yep.
But if you look at this run play, even though it was not a huge success, you have to look at what everybody does, right? Like, look at the left tackle, right? Okay, the guard basically, like, kind of looks for somebody here and doesn't really pick anyone up, but it's kind of, this guy basically ran away from him, so he was in a poor position to try and block that guy anyway. But the center picks up his man, and then the right guard is in there, and he doesn't really block anybody either, but at least he runs enough interference that they aren't getting penetration through here, right?
Yep.
And then the right tackle picks up his man. The tight end kind of turns that blitzing linebacker to the outside a little bit, and then the fullback picks him up. And I'm able to run through that little crack there and pick up 3 or 4 yards, right?
Yep.
Whereas if this was Madden 05,
So
one
The
or
whole
more,
line collapses.
yeah, one or more of those blocks would have failed, and then I would have got stuffed in the backfield for like a 3-yard loss, right?
Yep.
So I'm not saying that Madden 04 is easier against the run. What I am saying, though, is that they are more consistent against it.
Yeah, it's less extreme.
Yeah, like you're not constantly
looking to run it here.
Either running for
yeah.
a 5-yard loss or gaining 10 yards.
This defense
Exactly.
is extremely active and
it's
effective up
more
front.
consistent.
They do a good job of getting upfield quickly, creating havoc in the backfield. Misdirection plays
Well,
and
let's see
draws
what
can
kind
be a
of
good
trouble we
way
can get into
to use
here,
their
hey?
speed and
Bad things
aggressiveness
happen when you
against
go to the air.
Yeah, I
They
know,
need 5. Ball on their own 25.
but I gotta try.
Taylor comes in motion.
Okay, we've got a zone defense going on here.
Throws it, and he hits his target. That little dump off will move the
Well,
chain.
that'll do it.
Yeah, but see what I did here? You see how they've got the defensive line shifted, and that end is way out there in space, right?
Yep.
And what's going to happen is he's going to look at how he loops, right? He loops to the outside as well. And they're also bringing that guy on a blitz. I probably could have thrown this little corner route if I'd have been looking in that direction, right?
Well, that's okay.
But basically, I left that tight end in to help because I was anticipating that defensive end coming in. But even so, like I didn't take a particularly deep drop there, and this is a very short pass that I got rid of in a hurry, right?
Yep.
In fact, they were bringing a whole bunch of people. They were bringing the corner over there on that side, too.
Yep. Double corner blitz. Risky play call.
Play on
Yeah.
the field.
But the thing is, though, I still had a hard time getting the pass away on time before I was in trouble, right?
Yep.
And that's because they disguise what they're doing so well.
Number 1, directing traffic, using motion. Pass play here on first down. Looking downfield, gets rid of it, and it's complete to the 40.
Oh, that'll be another face mask.
Ooh, that's a big face mask.
Yeah, they're a lot more penalty happy in Madden 04 as well. It's not quite flag football out there, but mind you, we only boosted the penalties slightly. I think they're 65 out of 100.
Yeah.
And if you turn them up to 100 out of 100, they call penalties when there aren't any.
Yeah, but you'll see this is a play that I imported from Madden 05, right?
Yep.
But what used to happen on this play is I would be able to try and throw this corner route, right?
Yeah, and that guy would be dragging 4 coverage guys behind him.
But you see how they leave the safeties back off the line, though, right?
Yep.
And they actually bring someone out to cover this guy. Like, more often than not in Madden 05, almost always you can count on there isn't going to be anybody even covering him, right? So
Now, I guess in that situation, though, it's a linebacker, which is why you're able to complete that, but...
It's
Yep.
1st and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line.
yeah, because basically, although that formation looks kind of like the wishbone that I have in Madden 05, it actually uses 2 halfbacks instead of 2 fullbacks, right?
Hand it off to the back.
There, I got a nice run
Nice.
A very well drawn up play.
And it was well executed.
from the triple
They hit
I.
their box, and the back found the right hole to get down the field and pick up a first down.
But anyway, you know, I'm not able to just basically run wild and do whatever I want against these guys, right? They actually play stoutly enough that I have to work for it a bit.
Hand off to the tailback.
Nope.
And he's brought down at the 23. Flag down.
Starting to look a little like flag football out there, though.
Yeah.
The defender may have grabbed that face mask while hauling him down.
The defender almost pulled his helmet right off.
A little over 4 to go. Ball on the 18-yard line.
See, and they play some partial man coverage here too, right?
Yes.
And that's what they're doing here.
Under pressure with the throw. Nice adjustment. He's inside the 10.
But they brought the safety on the blitz and they paid for
A
it.
nice pass.
Yeah, see what I'm doing here though is by isolating the tight end, and then actually this cut that he makes here, that's an anti-jam measure. Because in this game too, the defense is really bad for jamming wide receivers.
Yeah, this game's all about the wide receiver jam.
Yeah, it's their main, most effective way to defend the pass, actually. So all I'm doing here is I'm using this cut at the line to shake any jam attempt that might happen, so that this guy can get out cleanly, and then I can just throw the ball to him.
Yep.
And also what they tend to do is they tend to blitz this linebacker a lot. Although they didn't this time. It looks like my anti-jam measure kind of turned that guy inside out a little bit too.
Yep.
And they were blitzing the safety instead. Right?
Well, it's amazing how fast the safety actually gets there, even from that far off the line.
Yeah, actually they do have a fair amount of success at that, and I do get sacked by a blitzing safety occasionally. And that's because you can't just dump the ball out there in any old coverage either, right? Like, you have to actually make sure that you're throwing it to somebody who's going to A, catch the ball, and B, is wearing the same color jersey as you. And that's not that easy in this game, at least so what I found.
They can do this sort of thing. Everyone gets on the same page, and they'll put up points in bunches.
And so we see this offense getting it done.
You know, like right now the score might say 14-0, but we got a lucky break there early, right?
Yep.
When you can do
With that fumble.
Everybody starts firing on all cylinders.
But if not, the score would be, you know, like 7-0 right now, right?
Yeah, or 7-7.
Yeah.
And even look there, right? Like, that was one guy away from a big return.
Yeah, I know. Kicking off is scary in this game because blocking is so good, right? I personally think that when you look at the difference between this game and Madden 05, and a lot of people think Madden 05 is like the best Madden ever, and it does have its good points, but I have to say, wow, look at that.
Nice.
I have to say that Madden 04 in a lot of ways is better than Madden 05 too.
Yeah, that time I had the dime back playing the flat there on that side.
Yeah. But if they really wanted Madden 05 to be like the defensive game that it is, well, they should have kept the defensive line alignments in the various formations the way they are in 4. So that those defensive ends would actually have the ability to get around the outside. And what I find is, from a passing point of view, I'm forced to stay shallower in the pocket, so that my tackles can actually turn around and block those defensive ends as they loop around and then come back upfield, right?
Yep.
But if you drop back too far, well, then your tackles can't move outside to pick those guys up, and even with a 4-man rush, one or both of those defensive ends can get you very quickly if you drop back too deep, right?
Drops back, pressure, gets the pass off. This pass is incomplete. John, he rushed that throw.
That wasn't a sack. What it did was make the quarterback adjust his throw, and it messed up.
Well, you had a couple of pass defenses there, hey?
Yep. Well, and that's not something to take for granted in this game.
No, sometimes you just wonder what they're doing out there because they'll run along kind of with their hands at their sides and they don't really do anything, right?
Or sometimes they'll be standing there facing the line of scrimmage and then the ball goes right by their head and you're just like...
Yeah, like why didn't he at least stick a hand up or something, right?
Probably because he couldn't find an animation for it.
Hand off to the tailback.
There, I managed to get outside a little bit here this time.
Fresh set of downs.
And that's actually, this is an old play from Madden 03, believe it or not, from long ago.
Oh, really?
Yep. You have your fullback block outside right, and you do a hop, step, sprint with the halfback, and then that way you have the option to take it inside or outside, and you see how far outside the fullback gets on the lead block, right?
Yep.
And he doesn't actually block anybody, but if there had been somebody there to block, he probably would have, right? The idea is that he's out there to try and pick up the cornerback when the corner comes in to shut down the outside run, right?
Yeah.
Ball on their own 44.
And that's actually like an old trick from Madden 03.
Number 1. Get set. Directing traffic.
Yeah, really, hop-step handoffs and things work a lot better in this game than they do in Madden 05, and backstep handoffs work worse.
Yeah.
He's able to hit his target, picking up the first in the process.
That's a case of your receiver knowing where the marker is, and
Just a quirk of the two games, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. Boy, I can tell the difference between this team and the team we played earlier, though.
Yeah, we played a team against a game against an all Madden team earlier, and oh man, like we lost it 19-10.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything on offense hardly at all. The the touchdown that we got wasn't as a result of me. It was a recovered fumble on a punt return. I punted it away, and then the punt returner fumbled, and I was fortunate enough to pick it up and run into the end zone. I actually did not score an offensive touchdown in that game.
Yeah, it was just insane. The difference between an all Madden team and a regular team in this game is very, very, very large.
Yep, it is.
Closing in, gets the pass off.
And this kind of thing happens a lot, right?
Yep.
See, if you watch here, basically I take a short drop, I want to throw a quick pass to this guy running this short curl, and this will happen 5 or 6 or more times in a game, right? I just can't seem to get it over the defensive line. And you can see that happen occasionally in the Madden 05, but most of the time you can at least get those quick passes away, right?
Yeah, in Madden 04, if you throw a lot of short passes, the defensive line are the leading pass defenders on the team.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
Under pressure with the throw.
There again.
He caught it for a loss.
Yeah, but look at what happened again, right? See, I've got this guy here running a drag underneath. You see that? And he's wide open. And that's why I'm throwing it to him, because he is wide open. And look at that. That defensive lineman just jumps up and knocks it down, right?
Yep.
So, it's a bit frustrating, but that's just the way that it is, right? But the thing is, though, there's no time to pump fake because that guy had already overpowered his block, right?
Yep, it was throw it or get sacked.
Yeah, if I'd have taken the time to pump fake and if he didn't get drawn in but taken in by the pump fake, well, then he would have run in there and sacked me, right?
Yep.
So,
will come into this game to punt. Mayberry looks like
Oh,
he's
what's
ready
this
to
guy
return.
doing in here? Oh, it's the second quarter change out again, right?
Yep.
Not much hang time.
Yeah, that's another thing that happens in the...
Oh, look at this. It's a live
Oh,
ball.
my
We
God.
got it back. See, this is something that doesn't actually work quite as well in Madden 04, which is what we call the pooch punt. But if you get in on your opponent's side of the midfield and then they stop you, it's actually worth it to do this. It's basically a minimum power punt, and you angle it slightly so that the punt returner has a hard time moving up to make a play on it. And sometimes you can get lucky, because what happens is the blockers are following the coverage guys down there, and you see how that bounced and then it hit the blocker in the back.
Yep. And then that's a fumble.
And now that's a live ball, right? So now we've got the ball back, and I guess we're playing with our second string players now.
Yeah, this is something that we've noticed happens in preseason games 1 and 4.
Yeah.
They sub in the second string players right away in the second quarter.
Yep.
Number 25. And he stopped at the 18.
Oh, and now we're going to get a holding penalty because we got a second string scrub in there at left tackle.
Number 60. He's going to be flagged for holding on that play.
But,
If the
you know,
defensive
what
guys
can you
get a
do?
good jump. Sometimes the only thing you can do to protect the quarterback is grab hold of somebody's jersey.
Lewis directing traffic.
And also, the wishbone run here doesn't work too bad against this, too, but you don't get the,
Hands it off to the back.
extreme results, right? Where you either get a huge gain or you get stuffed in the backfield again, right? I know I'm doing a lot of replays in this game, but I'm comparing the two games, right?
Yeah, you're fascinated by the differences.
I am. Because look at that. Look at the blocking. Every offensive lineman here has a block, right?
Yep, and tries to block someone in the front 7.
Yep, that's right. And then, you can see that the left tackle there gets beaten eventually, and that's the guy that tackles me. But I've managed to pick up, 3 or 4 yards before that happens, right?
Yeah, and then who blocks the safety? It's the lead blocking running back.
That's right. You don't see... Well, you can see the behavior here, right? Look at Mr. Right Guard, because he's an odd man out, right? He doesn't have anybody to block here.
Yep.
And instead of heading down the field, headhunting, looking for a safety or something, he actually turns and he look at that.
Blocks that
right?
linebacker.
He looks for somebody else to block over here. And as soon as that linebacker comes, well, he turns and blocks that linebacker. And occasionally when you do see an offensive lineman, for some reason, because it does happen once in a while, he ends up down in this area, well, you just watch him try to block a safety and he can't.
Yep.
Right? Like the safeties just run rings around these guys, right? Where it's not at all like in Madden 05 where it's extremely frustrating where you...
The offensive lineman uses his Spider-Man webs to pull the safety towards him, right?
Yeah, actually, there's not as much, like you see it occasionally again once in a while, but there's not as much block sucking going on in this game either, right? Like if a player on the field does not appear to be in any position to make a block,
He probably can't.
and he's not going to vacuum a player in toward him to capture him in order to be able to do that, right? Well, I think I'm going to have to concede and try and just dump a short pass to somebody.
Pressure coming with the throw.
Oh,
Incomplete.
dropped it.
It looked like he'd come up with it, but he just
Oh well,
couldn't get
I
it
guess
under
I'll kick a
control.
field
He did a
goal.
nice job of getting off the line and getting into his pass pattern. But he had the ball bounce right off his fingertips.
Now you've got Santa Claus holding the ball for Santa Claus.
That's right, because he is magical, right? That's how he can be in more than one place at once.
And it's up. The kick sails through. It's good. And with that right there, they've now scored 17 on
Okay, so we got a break on the punt there, but we couldn't really capitalize on it.
Yep. The drive for -3 yards.
Yeah, the drive for -3
and
yards.
6
Yep.
plays. 6 plays for -3 yards.
Yep.
From the 2-yard line.
Oh,
Well, I overran him.
The visiting team will start the drive from the 21-yard
he's pretty
line.
slick, though, down there covering his own kicks.
That's right. You know, but all in all, I mean, they got a couple of bad breaks that led to 10 points in this game, right? It's not like we really
Playing off a bit. It's the toss to the left.
it's not like we really did anything overwhelming on offense, you know.
Yep.
We like a couple of fumbles, basically a fumble and then a bit of a fluke on a punt, right?
Let's go. Come on. Dropping back. Pressure with the throw. This
Oh,
pass
you
is
almost
incomplete.
made it
He
through
got his
there.
hands on it.
Almost.
The pass was incomplete.
There's just no excuse for that. He's getting paid a lot of money to make those catches.
I don't know. Premature routes.
Third down.
You know,
and
like
goal.
again, that was a bit of a premature
Ball
route too, right? It just amazes me how they can break those routes off and more often than not catch those.
Gets rid of it.
Oh,
Like that, right?
Great play
Yep.
by number 80.
And that's the
The
type
double
of thing that
coverage
can happen
catch.
When you get this guy the ball, he's going to move the ball, and he's going to move it with speed.
that's the kind of thing that makes playing defense in this game so hard.
Yeah, well, that's why, like I said, I play defense quite a bit differently than you do. But what I do is I tend to play either a 3 deep or a 4 deep style, but I play the corners off and in a little bit, and I blitz a lot. Because those quick hot potato passes that they throw down the field, like just between the hash marks and the sidelines,
Second and 6.
I basically try to get the cornerbacks so that they're standing facing the line when they hot potato those passes out, so that I can get interceptions, right?
Yep.
Again with the run.
Oh, I overran the play there. That's my bad.
Did a nice job on that run.
If the defense keeps giving up runs like that for first downs, they'll have to make some
Yeah, you know what?
adjustments to
I
slow
always
this
thought
guy
that
down.
the offenses were a bit pass happy in this one, but
The quarterback
you know, they
is
do
set
make a
with
bit
only
of an
one
effort to
back
run too, right? And they're actually fairly tough to stop on the run as well.
They give it to the halfback. Kept it on the ground, picks up about 7.
Yo, I think the big thing is that in Madden 05, they're like twice as pass happy. Even though they're pass happy in this, they're like twice as pass happy
Yeah,
in
they're
Madden 05.
terrible. It's like the CFL or when you're playing Madden 05, just
down
with
and
one
three to
less
go.
player and a smaller field, right?
Yeah, and the only reason you don't notice it as badly, I think, is largely just because the defense
Only one man.
tends to be stronger in some ways.
John,
yeah.
I don't know how they didn't pick that
Because
one off.
they stick their
bet you as
hands up
soon
more
as he
often.
let that
Although
go,
that number
he
92
could
there,
have
he's
it
basically
back.
never going to get an
That could
interception.
easily have been an
Well, he only
interception.
got one hand on that too, though, right? That was basically a pass knockdown. You know, I don't think he was in a good position to catch that anyway.
Here's what both teams have done on third down.
Third
Third
down
and 3.
conversions is a keeper stat. When you convert on third down, you keep 3 things. You keep your drive going.
Oh,
you keep
yes!
your
The
defense
play
on
action
field,
backfires.
And you keep your defense resting on the sideline.
He wasn't going to be denied his first sack.
And that was the second string scrub outside linebacker getting the sack.
That's right.
And now they're going to try a long field goal.
Dixon, an attempt to put up the first points of the day. The kick is up.
And, ooh, he just made it inside the post.
He's one of those guys who really works hard at what he does. And you can see that hard work paying
Yeah,
off.
the AI
when he
is
makes a kick like
very,
this.
very good at
Here's
field
the
goal
kickoff.
kicking in this game.
Yeah, that was a 51-yarder. Wow.
Nice distance. From the 5. The offense goes back out.
Well,
onto the
that's the one
field
thing about
after
having
picking
Santa
up a
Claus
field
return
goal
kicks is
on
that
their
you
last
always
drive.
start with good position.
Yeah, you always start with good field position when Santa Claus returns kickoffs.
Ball on their own 28.
I have a feeling that the offense is probably going to have a little bit of trouble
Hand it off.
moving the
Number
ball
55
from this point
stops it
forward,
at
though,
the
because
32-yard line. 4-yard gain there.
we don't really have any good players out there anymore.
Yeah, there's this is another thing about cupcake teams is that second string players are a lot worse in this game.
Lewis directing traffic.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't notice too much difference in a cupcake team between the first string players and the second string players in Madden 05, but in Madden 04,
Again, he'll get the
basically
ball.
you have no depth
Picks up
whatsoever.
83 on
Yeah.
the
Right.
carry.
But you see here now, instead of stuffing me for a big loss and then letting me have an 8-yard run, they basically let me have 2 relatively short runs here, right?
Yep.
And then they pretty much, that pretty much puts you into a passing situation
So they need about
anyways.
3 here.
Oh, I suppose if I had more confidence in my running game, I could try to run the ball here, but
Drops back under pressure with the pass.
oh, he got his hand up and knocked it away.
Number 55.
Yep,
Great
that was
defensive play,
linebacker
tipping the
flat, I
passer.
think.
That's what you look for.
No, I
You
think
have
that guy
guys
was
watch
playing
film
man
each week.
coverage on him.
Try and figure out where he likes to go with the ball in certain situations.
Let's see what they were doing here. Yeah, the linebacker was playing man coverage, right? But he kind of bit on that step in, but then he was fast enough, I guess, to get back out there and recover from it.
Yep.
And we're back.
Anyway, we're going to try and
Williams
punt the
is
ball
looking for
away
a
from
good
these
punt
guys.
here.
Yeah, with this
Mayberry
awful guy.
lines up deep for the punt return.
This guy is the worst punter I've ever seen.
This one is shallow.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
From the 34.
He's a 71 overall punter.
That's okay. They got a holding penalty.
Sorry. He has 71 kick power. He's like a 30 overall punter.
Yeah, his overall rating is like 30. So he's not a good player, that's for sure. That's why we recruited Santa Claus to take care of the kicking and punting duties.
That's right.
First and 10. Ball on their own 29. Man in motion.
You are jumping again, hey?
It's the pass off.
Oh.
Pass is incomplete.
I think he just hit number 56 with that.
Yeah, and then he juggled it for 3 seconds.
The circus has come to
Only
town.
one.
Yeah, it's hot. I can't hang on to it. It's too hot.
Forrest sets up. With the pass. The defender.
Yeah.
There's an interception by the safety.
Well, I mean, he's been throwing it into that double coverage deep all day long.
Yeah,
guy's a great
but that's
defender.
another thing too, though. When you look at the replay of this, is that in Madden 04, the safeties play 2 deep zone much differently than they do in Madden 05.
Yeah, they shade very wide.
Because look at how wide they are, right? Like they really move toward the outside quite a lot. And then you'll notice that this guy will then turn, and on a post play, he'll move in like this to cover that guy. So I think what they're doing in Madden 04 is they're actually playing their positions correctly. Whereas in Madden 05, by this point in this play, like basically this guy is basically here, and this guy is basically here. Like they play much narrower.
Yeah, and that's actually what causes me to drop back a defensive end in the deep zone in Madden 05, because it forces the safeties apart.
Yeah.
Then it leaves a little seam in the middle, right?
But that's also what makes my favorite route the corner route.
Less effective.
Much less effective in this game, right?
So let's pick up the action.
Because I love throwing corner routes in Madden 05 because they're very easy to throw,
Now it's first and 10.
and you can almost always burn the defense for a big gain, right?
Yep.
But they're very stingy against
The outside pass.
the outside pass because for the simple reason that the safeties just play the too deep zone better, right?
And they also
in this
never
game.
crowd the line.
And they also never crowd the line. They sit
And they
back
play
there.
way less man coverage.
Yeah, they seem to play a lot of mixed coverages, right? Their coverages are actually harder in general to read because they'll have some guys playing man coverage, some guys playing zones.
Pull back handoff.
Nice.
Yeah, the fullback is still a half-decent player because we only have one fullback. So he doesn't get subbed out, right?
Yep.
So it's 3rd down and 2. I guess I'll try a run here and see if I can pick up a first down on the ground. Since we are in field goal range anyway.
He'll get it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then some more.
The running back finds his way into the open field and picks up the first down.
And what happened was
So I'm finding that the triple I system still works pretty well, right? Like it's a good running system.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I can still throw passes out of it a little bit and that kind of thing too. But like I said, the corner routes are basically going to be a thing of the past as far as Madden 04 goes, I think.
Number 25.
Well, here's a good run.
Yeah.
Just about 7 yards.
Yeah, that actually set up quite nicely. If you watch here, I'm pulling the left guard, and then I've got the 2 fullbacks out there leading in front. And again, though, you look at how this run sets up. I mean, look at this. You got
Look at the angle blocking.
yeah, like the guys who don't have someone, like look at how they trade, right? The guard pulls out, and look at what the center does, right? The center angles to the left to plug that hole. In Madden 05, quite often, if you pull a guard, you'll have a linebacker or somebody shoot through that gap that the pulling guard vacates, and more often than not, he'll be on the quarterback's back before you can even hand the ball off. Right?
Largely because that center's going to go after a safety.
Yeah, but here the center turns just slightly to his left and blocks that guy. And if you look at the guard on the right guard, look at what he does, right? He angles to the left as well and picks up that guy. And that defensive lineman here actually reacts pretty quickly to this run. But number 70 is also trying to do the same thing, right?
Yep.
You know, like they're not just skipping blocks. Like he doesn't just give up on this play and turn around and start running aimlessly up the field like they do in Madden 05, right? And then when you look at this, you know, like who's this downfield blocking? That's a wide receiver,
Yep.
right? You know, like you're not going to see offensive linemen 10 yards down the field trying to block defensive backs because it just doesn't happen in this game.
Play on the field.
You know, I think that, I hate to say it, but in Madden 05, to make it fear the D, they actually took a lot of shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
And as a result, I think they spoiled the game a little bit.
Yeah, well, we've always kind of talked about how they kind of started doing the shovelware thing after Madden 05, but in a way, they almost kind of started doing the shovelware thing during Madden 05. It was kind of like the premature start of it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I have to say that seems like it's the case. Well,
Taylor's looking good.
yeah, I just have to... There.
Pressure, rolling.
Nice.
Touchdown, home team. What a great reception for the touchdown.
Yep.
You see how this guy came in very late, right? Look at this. See, even though that tight end doesn't completely block him, he sort of redirects him to the inside a little bit, so he bumps into these two guys, right?
Yep, and that's enough to give you time to run this short curl.
Yeah. Yeah, and I figured that something was going to happen to this route anyways. And so that's why I told him to block, because I was basically looking at the right side as a place to throw. And I was lucky enough that a lane opened up and didn't hit a defensive lineman or something. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, people have seen things happen in our games, right? Like, even in our current Crusaders season, I can remember one play on defense where our right defensive end is lined up and he's facing a guard and a tackle.
Yep.
Right? And what happens when the play starts is the guard shifts slightly to the right and runs around him, and the tackle shifts slightly to the left and runs around him, and they leave him standing there by himself.
And then he stuffs the run in the backfield.
And then he just goes, "Thank you very much," and he runs 3 yards straight ahead and stuffs the halfback in the backfield because nobody blocked him, right?
Yep.
But when you look at the alignment of those offensive linemen once they passed the line of scrimmage, well, they were lined up in a nice row.
Oh, damn.
The 40, the 30.
I can't dive. I can't switch the buttons to dive.
Visiting team. Just an incredible run back.
Now that's something that you won't ever see in Madden 05.
Not very often. So we just gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown.
The kicking team heads out onto the
Well,
field.
the kicking game is dangerous in this game.
The kick
Yep.
is up, and the extra point is good.
So really, you know, like that kind of garbage can block dropping and that kind of stuff, it doesn't happen in this game, right?
Yep.
Upset than the special teams because they pride themselves on not letting the other team score. So when they see a touchdown,
Oh, I guess I'm returning this kickoff for you now.
Oh, yeah. We got all mixed up there. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Control of this thing as they head back out on offense.
Not very, well, you know what? It might be a thing that we see a couple of kickoff returns or punt returns this season.
Yeah, it could happen.
Because that's actually a thing in this game.
Pursuit and was cut down quickly.
These guys up front are very tough to block.
Really, I think that they put a lot more focus
Get
and
excellent
emphasis on the
leverage
special
running
teams
plays.
in general in this
Sometimes
game.
they struggle a little with their consistency, but they always seem to be a big factor when the game's on the line.
Yeah, well, I think though that particularly the block dropping thing, I mean, that was one of the little
Closing in.
stunts maybe that they did
In Madden 05,
in Madden
yeah.
05
to try and make the defense seem fearsome
Receiver knew just how far he
while
had to
still
go to get his team
creating
a fresh
chances,
set
I
of
guess, to you know, like have big breakaway runs and stuff. Because what happens is when you get a row of 3 offensive linemen shoulder to shoulder 10 yards down the field, well, if the halfback does manage to break a tackle in the backfield,
Everybody will be blocked.
yeah, everybody downfield will be blocked and it'll be an instant touchdown, right?
Yep.
It off to the back.
And I think that you know, like that's to my mind is lazy play design.
Second and 7 coming up here.
You know, it's lazy game design, really.
Lewis
And
sets up.
you know, like I said, I hate to say it,
Looks like he's
but
changing
I
the
think
play.
that the shovelware thing started between
Using
this game
motion.
and Madden 05.
Dropping back under pressure. Throwing.
I saw how high you threw that. I know you were trying to get it over that lineman.
Open
Well,
area
I was just
coverage.
trying to get it
It's his
away
third
before
down.
I got sacked, actually, but
And here's what they've been able to do so far on third down.
Third down conversion.
well, it looks like we're going to hit the 2-minute warning here at halftime.
It means that your offense is making big plays when they need it.
So 2 minutes left before halftime. Third and a deuce. Ball on their own 47. And we've reached the 2-minute mark here in the first half.
Okay, well, we're going to try and jam it right down the middle.
Hand it off.
No such luck.
Number
Ah, well.
Much to work with on that
I guess
one.
you get the pooch
That's
punt.
because the defense did a good job anticipating the snap count.
Yeah, we might be a little bit far away, though. I think with this guy, it's not going to work well
From midfield, yeah.
midfield, right?
Because this guy is absolutely awful punter.
Because he can't kick the ball further than about 15 or 20 yards.
Yeah, didn't you have a problem with him where you tried to pooch punt it and you got like oh god.
Well, I might as well have. Oh, okay. He actually did get a.
He drops the ball.
And then the gunner got out there.
Yeah, well, I managed to at least touch him while he was recovering it, right?
Yeah, I think one of the times you tried to pooch punt with that backup punter there, you ended up with a literal 9-yard punt.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Fullback picks up about 4 yards.
You know what this does? It keeps one defense.
It's the hurry up fullback rushing attack.
That's right. Oh, they got.
Steps up, gets the pass off.
Oh, he drops the pass.
I think that was their fullback
Yeah,
playing tight end.
that was the fullback playing tight end.
Give him a
Yeah.
chance to make a play. It's 3rd down and 6 to go. Ball on their own 21.
But yeah, you aren't going to see that punter punting the ball in the regular season. Oh, wow, look at that circus catch in the middle of coverage, eh?
Yeah. And here's another thing that's not really in Madden 05, though, is this whole referees juggling the ball and then resetting it kind of thing.
Yeah, well, what I noticed, too, is when they're running the hurry up, you don't have players on defense being caught offside either, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is another kind of cheap thing that they did in Madden 05 that I didn't like. Because real professional football players don't get caught offside when the offense is running the hurry up. Like, if it did, they'd be in big trouble. Their coach would be real mad at them.
Yep. And not only that, but I think a big part of it too is how the referees run down and reset the ball there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's part of why that problem happens in Madden 05, but it doesn't happen in this game.
There, see, that was an abortive pattern, right? Like, see how that guy's running, right?
Yep.
That is obviously not a 5-yard streak, right? So I can understand why he would not be able to catch that.
Riley, the lone back. Closing in, throws it.
Oh, yeah, could have had one there too.
Yeah, I think everyone else was thinking the same thing.
Could have had one.
I'm surprised that he'd be throwing it over there because we had 2-man coverage guys on that side.
Yeah. Well, I noticed though that that's one of the negative points to this game is that as soon as an unblocked defender crosses the line of scrimmage, the quarterback's throwing the ball away, and he'll throw it into any kind of coverage, right?
Yep. Now that does mean that they nickel and dime you all the way down the field too. I mean, I leak yardage like crazy in this game.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, like with an average team like this,
it doesn't work so well.
You're going to see lots of incomplete passes from drops or, like off-target passes being knocked down and that kind of thing. But
it's with the all Madden teams.
Yeah,
that
when you're
intense.
up against an all Madden quarterback, well, he's forcing the ball into the same kind of double coverages and that kind of thing, right? But he gets away with it, right?
Yeah, because his wide receivers have hands of glue.
Yeah, well, and he throws darts and that kind of thing too. I think I'm just going to take a knee here.
Yeah, no sense in doing anything risky.
Wow, look at that. That guy's 82 is a long ways back there.
Yeah, even the victory formation looks a little different.
Yeah, he must be on fumble recovery duty in case the snap gets fumbled or something, right?
Yeah, or something.
Okay, well, at halftime, we're up 24-10. Although I think this game would be pretty close to being tied right now if it wasn't for a couple of really lucky breaks that we got.
So with halftime now over, let's
Well,
Because we haven't exactly, like overwhelmed them offensively, that's for sure.
from the 13.
With this kind of lead, some players might want to put it in cruise control.
Well, I
They
mean,
better watch out,
we got a
though.
freebie, but then they got a
This one quite
freebie.
yet.
Yeah,
It's 1st and 10.
yeah, we kind of gave that one back to them, didn't we? Oh, well. Oh, look at that. They're creeping the safety up to the line.
Good thing he's on the wrong side.
Gain of 9 on the play.
But anyway, I know I'm belaboring the point, but I love the way the running game works in this game, right? Like, look at this.
Yep.
It's flawless.
But not only
right?
that, look at the tight end. The tight end doesn't have a one-on-one matchup, so he actually,
He
does a little bit of a double team
He actually
there.
helps out number 60 a little bit there. And that's kind of what allows me to bounce this outside, right?
Yeah, you see a lot of double team blocking in this.
Yeah. But even so, look at this. Offensive lineman on a linebacker. Offensive lineman on a lineman. Offensive lineman on a linebacker, right? Like, again, offensive lineman on a lineman. And
Yep.
linebacker, lineman, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no skip blocks here. Nobody drops a block and lets someone through untouched, right?
Yeah.
And really, this play could have been stopped, maybe, but like, it looks like that one guy who was on the center eventually got a little bit of penetration there. But luckily, I was able to turn and run around the tackle, right?
And
Yep.
we go back to the game.
But that's the way Madden 05 should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead of having all these drop blocks.
Instead of having all these drop blocks, if they wanted the defense to play tougher, well, they should have just made the defense play tougher, without taking those shortcuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, again, like, even against, like, the all-Madden team that we had played earlier today, they didn't have trouble getting penetration in the backfield, but they didn't need people to drop blocks to do it.
Yeah, but you see this here? Again, this play failed, but it didn't fail because somebody dropped a block. I mean, look at what the right tackle does here, right?
Yep.
And the lead blocker, he's going where he's supposed to go, and what happened was the tight end just didn't get that defensive end because the defensive end made a move outside.
Yeah, and just beat him cleanly.
And then came back in, right? But it wasn't a drop block. Like, he did actually try.
Attempt.
He did actually try, and there was some contact made there, right? So, yes, and that was a 2nd down and 1, and they stopped me from making a 1st down there, right? Oh, yeah, see that?
Couldn't get out of the backfield.
That was just a defensive line.
No
Getting
gain,
the offensive
right?
line. When your defensive guys up front can control the line of scrimmage.
Ah, well.
it
Which
makes it
sends me the
very
message that on
difficult to
3rd down and
move the ball
short, I'm going to have to probably go to a pass if I want to make a 1st down.
Lines up in the backfield for the punt.
With this crew, at least.
Yeah,
right?
with the second stringers out there, probably.
Okay, well, let's see how horrible a punt that is. Hopefully not too bad.
Here's the punt.
Well, it wasn't too good either, but...
I mean, he's awful anyways. That's almost as far as he can punt it anyways.
Yeah.
Now, here's a little quirk, though. In Madden 05, they start in the middle of the field when you punt it out of bounds like that, and in Madden 04, they don't.
Yeah.
Gets the toss to the left. Breaks the tackle. Look at that power.
Woo-wee.
Gets the toss, picks up about 2.
Yeah, I think that guy actually has like 98 break tackle. Like, he's a fearsome guy for a runner.
Yeah, well, he ran through the first 2 guys.
It's 2nd down and 8 to go.
But the wide run is still not necessarily a good idea in this game. At least not against these formations.
The corners are giving a bit of a cushion, using motion.
They use the near and far formations quite a bit in this game too, right?
Oh, yeah,
I always thought those were a bit of a thing of the past. See, that was a prematurely cut off route too, only this time the guy managed to catch it, right?
Well, and because of how fearsome the passing attack is in this game, I'm coming out in a dime like every single play.
Yeah.
2nd and 6.
Yeah, well, you know, the pass is pretty hard to stop in this game.
Riley, the lone back. Gets the pass off.
There, see that? That was a hot potato pass again, right?
Yep.
And that's not a completed route either, right? That's broken off early. And thrown into close enough coverage that, you know, like a lot of times when you see passes like that thrown, more often than not, the receiver will drop the ball because of the hit, right?
Well, that's okay. We're going to line up in this kind of thing now.
Number 8 comes in motion. Decent gain, about 4. Second and 6 coming up here. Ball on the 33-yard line. Drops back. Pressure coming with the throw.
Oh, well, you had that one defended. And then he decided to just add insult to injury there, eh?
Yeah, well, we had the curl flat in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about the way that flat zones work in this game is that they don't really cover the flats extremely well.
Throws out to the left.
There, see, that's what should happen there, right? The guy lays a hit on him and makes him drop it, right? But when there's no wide receiver out wide, then those flat zone guys drop off and almost make like an additional medium zone, right?
Yeah, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you want here.
He hit the upright that time.
Well, that's pretty long field goal to make.
Yeah.
It's 1st and 10. Lewis sets up. On the call. About a 2-yard gain here.
See, that's the difference, though, right? They can still get penetration into the backfield, especially because they blitz a lot, right? Like, that guy basically came in untouched.
Yeah, he shot the gap.
But I still managed to pick up a couple of yards. I haven't actually seen a quarterback get tackled while trying to hand the ball off yet in this game. Which I think is an absolutely horrible thing. Like, they should have been embarrassed about that in Madden 05.
Well, that's okay, because Bo Jenkins will spend the rest of the Madden 2005 season getting hit in the back as he hands off the ball.
Yep.
48-yard line.
Sorry, Bo Jenkins.
About 6 yards.
Okay, well, we did okay on that second down run. Now I guess we'll see about going to a pass here and see if we can make a first down through the air, hey?
All right.
Drops back, closing in with the throw.
Hey, he made the catch.
Wow, did they ever cover the crap out of Taylor on the right-hand side?
Yeah, well, see what I did here again is I left this guy in to block. Can you see that?
Yep.
That's that wide defensive end that I was talking about.
Yeah, he
right?
just comes around cleanly around that tackle all the time.
That tackle is not going to block him, right? So that's why this guy out here, that's why I designed this formation. And actually, it's kind of a I call it the Valkyrie Empty, because it's a tip of the hat to the old Playmaker football DOS game from 1989, right?
Yep.
And a team called the Valkyrie used a lot of formations very similar to this, right? And so what I did was I basically put a couple of tight ends in there, and then I can throw real short, quick passes like that, while still having some protection.
And you definitely need the protection in this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been able to even throw that real short curl without, you know, the additional protection that I had going on there, right? But now we'll try and jam it up the middle again.
Hand it off. Number 46 makes the
Oh, and that worked out pretty okay.
Well, that's the big difference though, right? Is that a successful run play in this game is anywhere between 5 and 10 yards. But you'll get a lot of,
he sees something in the defense.
you know, like short gains, 2 yards, 3 yards, but you won't get a lot of defenders bursting through the line and stopping a run for,
Under pressure.
you know, like a big loss, right?
Oh, that's another face mask.
Yep. Uh-oh, looks like he's hurt too. He's not getting up.
Uh-oh. Is that your first string or second string guy?
Oh no, he's like pretty close to the bottom of the depth chart, I think. Hey, are you all right there, buddy?
And we're back.
He's still laying there.
Oh, God.
Hey, is somebody going to come out there and get him?
Yeah, there he goes now.
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
Wow, that was rough.
Wow, I think he was the fifth string guy.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
Well, he caught the pass anyway.
36-yard line.
Yeah, see, if you catch the pass and then you die on the field, then that's okay. As long as you still catch the pass.
Moves in motion. Dropping back to pass on 1st down. Gets the pass.
That's another thing I absolutely love about this game on offense, too, is that you can still, if you've got 4 seconds left on the play clock, you can still call an audible, because your quarterback doesn't stand there and wave his hands in the air and dance around and, you know, like read the newspaper and stuff like that, right? Like, he just calls the audible and then that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. Like, for example, even if you play the exhibition games in this one with the regular NFL teams, and you have like the Colts out there, and you have Peyton Manning, and you know how Peyton Manning is. He calls like a million audibles every play, right? Well, in Madden 05, because they added all those long-ass audible animations, the Colts take like ridiculous delay of game penalties like all the time.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
With a man in motion. Dropping back, he surveys the field.
Oh, I couldn't get it away. That's that bad habit that I have again, though, right? Of rolling. See that? I basically rolled right into that. If I'd have dropped back and just stayed right here, I would have been all right. I could have thrown it past this guy, right?
Yep.
Because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to throw it to this guy. But that's the difference between the two games, right?
So let's pick up the action. So it's 1st and 10.
And that's a habit I'll have to break myself of, because, you know, like, you can't just roll around and scramble around in this game like you can in Madden 05. Because the outside pass rush is just too good, right?
Okay, I think I shot the gap on a pulling guard here.
Yeah. But you still didn't tackle the quarterback before he could hand the ball off.
No, I don't think that's possible in this game.
We'll go back to the play on the field.
I actually don't think that's possible.
Nope. But you did have that outside guy there, right in there, ready to stop that one.
Forrest sets up. Toss play to the left.
Oh, look at that. He spun the whole team, right?
The 20.
Wow.
Yep.
That's something, like, if they wanted to transition from Madden 05 from Madden 04 to Madden 05, to make the D play better, when you have a cluster of defensive players like that, they split the difference, right?
Yep.
If there's 4 of them there, 2 of them pursue outside, 2 of them contain inside, right? You know, like, make them play intelligently, and your defense would play so much better, right? Without the gimmicks that they added in Madden 05.
Hey, as an offensive coach in this league, you're always
Well, now it's a football game, right? We had a pretty good lead there for a while.
Get it in there for the touchdown.
Yep.
Good job by these guys.
But this game is offense-centric game, so it's not that surprising that
Yep.
kind of thing can happen.
And we're going to start from our 16-yard line after that penalty. Well, I got to remember to stay in the pocket here, though, because I keep rolling around and stuff, because it's
the habit of stress.
Calling an audible now. Man in
well,
motion.
it's a bad habit in this game, right?
Pressure coming.
Wow, look at that! I even had the tight end there blocking too, right? You see that? Wow, nobody picked that guy up. Like, wow, what are you doing out there, number? See, but that's the problem, right? If I'd have been rolling to the right that time, I would have been fine.
Yep.
So you just never really know what you can do and what you can't, right?
Yep.
Now in second and long after the sack.
Well, it's the clown pass out there now.
Clown screen.
Pressure slings it to the outside.
Well, it didn't get much.
Yeah, the blocking just didn't hold up. They did block him, it just didn't hold up.
Okay, well, we're going to have to change punters here now.
Yeah, you need somebody with a bit more kick power.
Yeah, so we got to put him back in there at punter.
And we go back
Because we're going to punt on third down.
Because that
it's
still works.
basically the only way we're going to get out of this giant hole that we're in. Because on third down and 14, I have very little confidence in this quarterback's ability to make a first down here. So we're
And
just gonna drill it down the field as far as we can go. I didn't get a very good bounce that time, but I actually got a touchback from a punt from about that position in one game by doing that. Like, I actually kicked it far enough that it rolled into their end zone, right?
Nice.
However, having them start at their 34 is a hell of a lot better than having them start at our 34, which is where they would have started probably.
Oh,
Well, that was a penalty almost immediately. Offside on the end. Because you have him playing upright like a linebacker, right?
that's right, yep.
So sometimes he leans. No, actually, no, he was... Yeah, okay, yeah, there he is, right? He was leaning like those linebackers do sometimes.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
But I have to have him like that, or else when they run play action passes, then he'll bite on the play fake really hard because he plays as a defensive lineman.
Throwing on first down. Closing in. Throwing. A little off target, but caught. Number 86 was there to make the catch for the first
Well, I
down.
think for the fourth quarter, I just might sub all the first string guys back in again.
When he needs another first down.
Unless the game does that automatically. I don't know.
Man in motion. Pass play here on first down. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. This one falls incomplete. He just couldn't
That
find
looked
a
like
way
it was
to
a little
bring it
high,
in.
right? He had to jump for it.
Yeah. That flat zone was not well played.
Nope. He was way out of position. But you know why, though? If you look at the replay again here. Okay? If you look at their offensive formation, right? There's no wide receiver on the right. You see that?
Yep.
And that means that the flat zone guy behaves differently if there's no wide receiver. And the weird thing is, if there is a wide receiver, he'll make a beeline for the sideline. But if there's no wide receiver, he just sort of wanders around and drifts upfield, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like an AI flaw.
You know, like if you want to deliberately defend the flat, you can't actually get somebody to do that in this game. And that's something they could have done too, is they could have kept the, like I said before, they could have kept the basic defensive alignments with the properly spaced defensive line and all that kind of stuff, but actually had the zone defenders carry out their assignments as they're drawn, right?
Yep. Well, another difference in this game, too, is you've really got to watch your man coverage when they motion players around, because they don't follow players across the field in the same way.
Wow, that was a hot potato, too, but he was just short. He managed to get the stop.
He can expect to see more passes thrown in his direction.
And so a lot of times your nickelback, for example, if it's a 2 wide receiver set, your nickelback won't follow a motion tight end from one side to the other.
Yeah, he'll lock onto a running back or something weird like that instead, right? Oh, that sucks.
And that's precisely why I favor the dime in this one, because that way I always have a defensive back on each side.
Yep. Well, we're in a bit of a hole now.
Yeah, we might end up doing the third down punt thing again.
Yeah, maybe. If we can't get anywhere here.
Looks like he's changing the play. Just going to hand it off. About a 3-yard gain for the fullback.
Okay, well, that gives us a little bit of room. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it looks like they lined up in man coverage over there anyways.
That's okay. I'm going to let the clock run out here in the third quarter.
Ahead of the visiting team, 24-17. The teams are set for the fourth quarter.
Okay. I think it's time.
Time to put the good guys in and win this game.
Well, or at least not lose this game as badly as we have been, right? Okay, he's the same. The wide receiver with the ironic name.
Yeah, this is another thing, too. You can sub literally anybody from just about any position into any other position.
Yeah, and I kind of like that, actually, as a concept. There's the wide receiver with the ironic name.
Yeah, Swift, the
He's got
70
speed, and his name is Swift.
God.
Yeah. All right, well, it's time to get these bums off the field. Whoops. No. Help me out here.
Press A?
Oh, yeah, right.
There you go.
No, I'm trying to sort.
Oh, press A and then sort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you can sort by position.
Okay, yeah.
And you just got to go down, because it'll be like in the same order that it goes in when you're going through the roster charts.
Yeah.
So you want to put Clayton in there, and that helps you figure out which positions, because they don't actually filter by position. That's a consequence of being able to sub anybody in any position.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, I like that as an idea, right? Because it basically gives you unlimited substitutions. You want to swap your guys in too, or what?
Sure.
You haven't been doing too badly defensively. You've made a few stops, but you know. The first quarter seems like it's a bit early to sub all the bench warmers in already.
I'd be inclined to agree. And maybe we can get some more sacks, because it's hard to get sacks in this game.
Yeah, it is. Well, because the tendency of the quarterbacks to hot potato the ball out of there makes it hard to sack them, and also the blocking and stuff really holds up pretty well in this game too, right? It's difficult to beat. You know, like people might notice that you're not having the degree of success playing defensive line in this game that you do in Madden 05 too.
That's right. And part of it is you just don't have the same tools to fight with. Like the roll is less effective in that you can actually get suctioned away from where you're trying to attack. That can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, but you also can't shove other like offensive linemen around and stuff like that either, right?
That's right.
So really what they could have done is they could have given you some of those additional tools. If they wanted the defense to play stiffer, they could have given you those additional tools, but left the game more or less intact from the way that it was in Madden 04, right? Because it makes absolutely no sense to have all four linemen in a 4-3 alignment all wedged tight shoulder to shoulder, right? You know, I mean, you're not out there on 1st and 10 playing short yardage, right?
Yeah.
And welcome back.
Okay, here we go.
2nd and 7 coming up here. Ball on their own 8. Number 1 sees something in the defense. Drops back, throwing short to the right side. And
Oh, well, he stumbled around there, picked up a few yards.
With that reception, he now has 5 tonight. Directing traffic. Pressure coming, fires it out.
Oh, hit at the line again, right? Oh,
Just gotta kill you to see that kind of thing.
yeah, because I think that guy was open too, right? I was trying to hit the wide receiver over here. And I'm pretty sure I could have,
Yep.
right? But look at that.
Yeah, that's a defensive tackle locked up on the center.
Look at how many they were sending, right? They were literally sending everybody. I guess I could have tried throwing it to this guy too, but I'm not sure I would have made 2 yards on that. Right? Because that guy there was closing in on him pretty quickly.
Yep. Yeah, he could have hit him in the back and he might have dropped it.
Back to the field.
Well, or he could have, yeah, he could have caught it and then got tackled short anyways, right? But yeah, that defensive linemen are very alert in this game, and they're really good at jumping up and knocking the passes down, right?
Pretty much every time without fail.
1st and 10.
Especially on these good defense teams.
The corners playing back. Pass play here on 1st down. Pressure gets the pass off. Running with purpose.
That's that fullback, I think.
That receiver has really good technique out there.
Well, at least he didn't spin the entire team, right, and leave 5 guys behind.
One back behind him.
You know, that's one thing too that they could have done in Madden 05 as a transition from this game.
A bit of a cushion.
Is you know, improve the pursuit, right?
This one falls in.
You know, made player pursuit angles better, and made players play as a team out there instead of a bunch of individuals, right?
Yeah,
because that's what happened on that long run, right? They were basically all playing as individuals instead of working together to stop that run, right?
Wow, did he fire that one away early, huh?
Yeah, that was definitely a... Well, look at that too, right? He's trying to catch that while being hit in the face by the defender too, right?
Yeah, that's a 2-yard drop. Yeah.
You know, like really that, by all rights, should have been an incomplete pass. Because I don't think he should have been able to even turn around in time to see that coming, right? Because that was so early in that pattern. You know, that's another thing they could do too to make the defense a little more effective, is have waypoints on the pass routes. Oh,
Wow, I'm glad the safety didn't miss that one.
Yeah, have waypoints on the pass routes and basically designate it that if a receiver is going to successfully catch a pass, well, he has to pass a certain point first on his pass route, right? Because if you're running a 10-yard post, well, you're going to run about 7 yards straight ahead, and then you're going to break toward the middle of the field, but you're not going to be looking back over your shoulder for that entire time, right?
Yep.
You know, you're not going to look back until you actually make the break, which means that if that ball is thrown sooner or too soon, well, you know, in your pass route, you're not even going to look back for it. It's going to go behind you, or it'll hit you, or something like that, right?
What, you mean to tell me wide receivers don't have eyes in the back of their head?
No, I don't think that they should be psychic, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's like they psychically know that the ball is coming.
If you take those lanes away, it makes it very difficult to get the pass out to the receiver.
Maybe they're all just spider people.
Yeah, or they have, like, rear view mirrors on their helmets or something. Try and hit that guy.
I did. It didn't matter.
Oh, well, at least he wasn't able to keep it out that time. Actually, you don't see that happen in Madden 05 very often either.
You know, I might start lining up in a punt block to see if I can prevent that kind of thing from happening.
Number 1, get set.
Because it's funny, because I think we ended up playing these guys in one of the practice games we played too. And I actually returned a punt for a touchdown on these guys, but this game in particular, they've been covering it like crazy well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if they're punting from our side of midfield, chances are you're not going to get a return anyway, right?
Yeah.
Number 25 comes in motion.
So really, you might as well put a block out there and see if you can do something about it.
Yeah, well, maybe I could force him into a max protect situation at least.
So this still works.
Right on the mark there to move the change.
And the thing
Nice.
is, the secondary looked a little on their heels on that one.
But it doesn't work all the time, like it does in Madden 05, right?
Yep.
And you can't really throw the corner route over top.
Number 1, directing traffic. Using
At least not unless the safety plays a one deep or something.
Yeah, but you never hardly see that, right?
Yeah, you got 2 deep here again.
Yeah.
Finds his man. And it'll be second and less than 2 following.
Yeah, actually, they are they're pretty tough against deep passes,
If
right?
you don't get it on this play, you can always go back out there on third, and you still
You know, like you can lob. I think if you send a receiver down field on a streak or something like that, you can lob the ball to him, and sometimes you can get a catch that way, right?
They give it to the halfback.
If your risk tolerance is such that you can, you know, like actually throw that kind of pass, right?
Yep.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line.
Yeah. Well, we'll try this way, I guess. Maybe this guy will leave along with the wide receiver. Oh.
This is a dive play now.
Yeah. Well,
Gain of about 1.
I guess I outsmarted myself there.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is when they shift, they don't just shift, they shift wide. Really wide.
Oh yeah, those wide linemen are awfully tough to run around. This looks like a zone defense, probably.
Pressure coming with the throw. And this pass is complete. They'll mark it.
Well, I managed to pick up a couple anyway.
The receiver did a good job bringing that pass in.
Looks like someone might have blown their coverage on that one.
So they dug themselves.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of situation where you just got to watch that corner, and I think they were playing a cover 4, but you know, if they'd have played a cover 2, or even that corner just played a flat and they played a cover 3 or something, like you might have been able to throw that corner route over top. I think that's probably what you were looking for.
Pressure with the pass, with the catch on the run.
This particular route works pretty well, right? Like against man coverage, like that was basically, or even like a cover 2 type of situation, because And this is why I use this 90 cut at the line, because it basically prevents the jam, right?
Yep.
So he's able to run his pattern more or less cleanly, and I can throw it out there more or less on time, right?
Yep.
And we're back.
Yeah, you'll even see tight ends get jammed in this game. A
Yeah.
lot. It's a big part of this game.
Well, you know what? If they wanted to fear you to fear the D,
That's one way to do it.
that's one way to do it, right? They could have had the jam work in Madden 05 the way it works in this game.
Throwing on first down. Closing in.
Oh, they had a guy covering it there.
Don't worry, you'll get to do first down again. From,
Yeah, I guess so, hey?
10 yards further back.
Holding happens on almost every play. It just depends on whether the official sees it and decides to call it.
Well, okay.
Calling an audible. Number 37. Breaking free. Just about 7
All right,
yards on the
we didn't do too badly there.
Yeah, that was not bad.
But as you can see, I put up a respectable amount of yardage on the ground, but it hasn't really translated into a lot of points, right?
Yep. Well, and because these guys don't crowd the line repeatedly, you can actually run against them in this game.
Yeah, and this old chestnut here, whoops, while you can still do it sometimes, the flat pass to the wide receiver, more often than not, the way that the defense lines up, they take that away, right?
Yeah, they actually tend to do a lot of double man coverage flats, kind of like I do in my own playbook.
Yeah, but the reason that I knew I could throw it this time is because of the position of this player right here.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to get out there.
Right? If he'd have been standing here, then that indicates that he could very likely be playing a flat zone, right?
Yep.
And if that happens, well, then you're not throwing this. But if it's just man coverage with the safety over top, well, then yes, you are throwing it, right?
Yeah, you can stretch them out too thin.
However, this in Madden 05 could have very well been a touchdown, but here, because they have this guy back here playing his position,
yeah, and he's really wide.
Instead of up here trying to play linebacker or something, well, you know what? He's in a good position out there to cut this off and prevent it from turning into a touchdown.
Yeah, the safety provides the safety.
And they actually defend that particular pass pretty well, right? Like if you see the way they're lined up here right now, you see
You wouldn't
that?
want to throw it here.
Yeah, you can't throw that here, right?
Give it to the halfback. Just won't go.
Nice.
Home team.
But watch, this is the thing. He looks like one of those downhill.
But again, though, too, that wasn't a wide stretch run or anything. That was between the tackles there.
Yep, it was just run right up the middle. Well, in Madden 05, though, because they have the linemen constantly basically in a tight alignment, what you're hoping to do when you run the ball in Madden 05 is you just want your offensive line to wall everybody off so that you can run around them, right?
Yeah.
You know, there is no inside running in that game to speak of, unless you do some exploity things like what you and I have learned to do with
Fullback dives.
Well, with full house or, you know, like 3 running back sets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The defense has to find a way to regroup out there on the sideline. So they don't
I have to not give up a kickoff return for a touchdown this time.
From the 2-yard line.
Oh, look at this.
Nope.
Right? That's what happened last time, though. All 3 of those guys on the outside, he just turned inside and ran around 3 people. Right?
Yep.
But they weren't smart enough to adjust their pursuit angle in order to chase him, right?
Yeah, that's one thing that is a little bit worse about this game, is pursuit angles.
Yeah.
The corners playing
Although that being said, occasionally you have like 4 guys all doing the same thing. Oh,
Incomplete pass.
Oh, well, the guy behind him
He got open,
at
and the
least
quarterback found him
made
with
him
the
drop
pass.
it, right?
He just couldn't get it under control.
However, putting the first stringers back in made quite a difference, right?
Number 86 in motion.
That's another thing they do. They'll motion that tight end.
Yeah, but they won't motion him all the way, right? Like they just move him a little bit. Sort
Well,
of like
this is an anti-jam tactic as well, actually.
yeah, it probably is, yeah.
Right?
Let's get back to
When
the
they do
action
that,
on the field.
you can't jam that
And
tight
they'll
end.
face a long third down here.
He just becomes immune to it because he's got that slight horizontal movement.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I use the cuts at the line to do, right?
Defense
Yep.
really bears down on third down.
Pass was incomplete. That one hit him in the hands, but it just couldn't hang on.
Pretty good play call on that one. Everything happened just as it's brought up. Just couldn't hang on to it.
And of course, the AI knows when a guy's going to get jammed, and that's why they make that kind of movement. They just kind of psychically know that guy's going to get jammed that play.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, when I design my defenses, I don't
And he
count on
chooses
getting
not
a
to return
jam.
This one goes out of bounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, I play everybody off the line, like 4 yards off the line minimum.
Yeah, so you don't really get a jam very much either, right?
That's right. Largely whenever it does happen, it's because like a linebacker in a flat jams a tight end, or someone in like the middle randomly for no reason.
Very well on that.
It's not like I drew it in there or anything, he just does it.
Is exactly that. Whoever fires off the line faster and gets better leverage
Well,
will win those battles at the line.
being ahead by 2 scores at this point, I think I'm probably only going to pass when I have to.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Like this one here, because of the wide line there, I'm going to try and turn this and see if I can turn sharply enough to run behind the guard
Yep.
on the right.
Hand it off. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry.
And I didn't get much there, but sometimes that little hole will open up for you, right?
Well, 3rd and 10 is easier to make than 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
Number 1 sets up.
See, this is something I developed as an anti-jam
Using motion.
tactic.
Dropping back. Looking for a receiver. Incomplete pass.
Although, unfortunately, they had it covered well there.
Pressure can really change
Yeah,
the way
well,
an
what
offense
happened is
operates.
that pass
They
rusher
need to
came
keep
in
some
from the
extra
right and got
blockers
to
in.
me too,
Either
right?
a tight end on the line
'Cause I had to
or a
look to a
pass that can
second
help them out
receiver.
with their protection.
And you don't have very much time. Right?
Not in this game, you don't.
Like, they were, you see that? And that's that defensive end, right?
Yep.
And I did not drop back very far here, right? I took 2 steps after receiving the shotgun snap. But I'm still deep enough that this tackle can't move out and pick that guy up, right?
Yep.
So really what I should have done probably is stepped up. And that way it would have given that tackle maybe a chance.
Yeah, to protect you.
And then I could have thrown it like to either this guy or this guy, right? So I was trying to throw it to this guy when I realized I wasn't going to be able to throw it to that guy. But by the time I threw it, of course, that guy, the rushing defensive end there gets there and hits me, right?
Well, at least it didn't turn into a fumble or nothing.
Yeah, and then my left tackle tries his best to catch that, but he just couldn't.
Number 7 will come into this game to punt.
So if you want my personal assessment
Here's the kick
of Madden
from the 16.
Madden 04 defense versus Madden 05 defense, at least from a player on offense point of view,
So they have first
I
and
think
10.
that Madden 04 plays better defense. They play more sound defense.
The corners are giving a bit of a cushion.
You know, like their defensive strategy is more sound. Wow, that guy was wide open.
You can't draw
And,
it up any better than that.
You know, like the alignments of the defensive line is better. It's more effective for pass rushing.
Yep.
And they play, you know, better run defense even because their linebackers play very well, right?
They'll pass on first down. Gets the pass off.
And that crowding the line thing, I think, was absolutely the worst idea ever, right? They should have never done that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is for human players, it's a very useful tool to have down near the goal line, but the problem is for AI players, they just do nothing but that all the time.
Yeah, and they play, in Madden 05, they play far too much man lock.
Dropping back, pressure with the throw.
You know, one of the things that makes it difficult to defend or to play offense against the Madden 04 defenses is that you can't necessarily tell what they're doing, because they could even be in a man coverage and not man lock, right?
Yep.
You know, but then their man coverage looks like a zone, but it's actually man coverage, and then you can get into trouble because you end up throwing into a coverage that you didn't read right?
The home team call a timeout.
Why'd you call a timeout? Oh, they're going on fourth down.
Yeah, they're going on fourth down.
Oh, okay. I wonder what the temperature is going to be in January here.
I have no idea.
I mean, right now, this is the exhibition season, so it's like September or something, right?
Yep.
And it's like 0 degrees in our stadium in September.
Yeah, in the outdoor stadium.
At the North Pole, yeah.
Throwing short to his left.
Well, that was pretty well covered anyway. I think he's probably better off dropping that.
Yeah, that might have been an intentional drop.
And this is the 7th play of this drive. Gets rid of it. A lot of space in front of him.
Wow, he almost crossed the line of scrimmage when he threw that.
Yeah.
This offense is clicking. They're making the right calls.
Well, he's running around and doing whatever he can to try and make some offense here. This actually would be a much closer game than the score indicates, though, too, I think, except that we got a couple of really lucky breaks, you know?
And this is the 8th play of this drive.
Oh, there you just got an interception from Santa Claus. Santa Claus picks off the pass.
Yeah, he was playing the curl flat over there.
Yeah.
He took it.
You want to cut those pass routes off? Santa Claus will make you pay.
That's right. You gotta wait for those pass routes to mature, because you can get into trouble throwing it early.
Number 37. He can't wrap him up.
Wow, look at that. I can push the pile a little bit on occasion, too.
Yep.
You know what they did was pick
Yeah,
up the
actually,
blitz when they
Ayana
didn't have to
Kombe
open up the hole,
is
they ran right
a
through it.
very good starting halfback. He's got 89 speed and 75 break tackle, I think.
Yeah, the only problem is he is a bit fumble prone, right?
Yeah, that's his problem, his
To
weakness.
the tailback.
Oh,
Gain of about 1. Jacksonville calls a timeout. They have 2 remaining.
They just called a timeout. Well, I'm going to run the ball again.
Coming up here.
And then after that, I think I'm going to run the ball again. I think I'm going to make a commitment here to just basically run the ball 3 times and punt. Although it's tempting to try and throw the flat pass over here, but I'm going to resist that temptation.
Hand it off to the back, off and run.
you didn't really need it anyways.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right, is that because your offensive line doesn't skip blocks the way they do in Madden 05,
You can actually run.
you can actually, even when they bunch everybody in the middle like that, you can actually still enjoy some success at running, right?
Especially if you've got the right play called.
Calling an audible.
And the ability to flip your runs back and forth is just amazing.
They
Yep.
give it to the halfback. Into the
That was a
open
huge
field.
improvement over Madden 03.
Yeah.
This one is just about in the books.
Oh yeah, Madden 03 was pretty rough compared to this.
It's 1st and 10.
We might have to do a Madden 03 tournament, maybe.
Yeah, oh god, Madden 03 was a shit show.
Because I think we've got like all of the extra special teams, like the Sugar Buzz and all that kind of stuff
Yep.
opened up in Madden 03. But Madden 03 is the only Madden game I have ever seen where you can either block a punt or block a field goal. right? I have never seen it happen in Madden 04 or Madden 05.
Yeah.
Ever.
Hand it off.
Ooh, I'm going to go this way.
You'd never seen a kickoff return for a touchdown until that referee stifled mine.
Yeah, well, actually, that's pretty funny. We got some replays that we can show off, too, from our practice games. But, yeah, in our practice game, the very first game that we played, you returned a kickoff for a touchdown.
Yep.
And you know what? In all the time that we have been playing Madden 05, we've never, ever seen a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, maybe we'll have to open the next episode with that one.
Yeah.
Because if they are and they give up a first,
Of course, that was with Santa Claus returning the kickoff. And
Yeah,
he did,
the optimal player.
and he did break a couple of tackles in order to do it.
He broke like
but-
3 tackles in order to do it.
But still, though, I can say honestly that I have, you know, like it's a long time ago because it's been a long time since I played Madden 04 very much, but I have returned a punt for a touchdown. I have also returned a kickoff for a touchdown in Madden 04.
Yep.
But I've never done either of those things in Madden 05.
Hand off to the tailback. 4-yard gain there.
Okay, one more time I'm going to go over this. You see, I just love the way that the running game in this thing works because it works, right? You
Look
see
at the
that?
double team on the
Yeah,
center.
look at what the center does, right? He goes over there and he helps out the right guard, and then when he's pretty sure that the right guard's got things handled, then he breaks away and goes and looks for someone else, right?
And he tries to get that linebacker, but
He
that
tries-
linebacker is very
Yeah,
fast.
but he's in no position to do that. But in Madden 05,
It would
you
be...
know, it would be like, and
Yep.
he would basically suction that guy into him, right?
That's right, yep.
So anyway, but if you look at the, you know, like the guard does a great job there. The right tackle gets that linebacker. The tight end gets the defensive end who's lined up way out wide there.
The space end.
And you know what? My fullback over here kind of got lost. He didn't. But that's okay. I still had this hole open up here, and I was able to run into it. And yeah, they tackled me, but I still managed to pick up, you know, like 4 yards on this play, right? Instead of it being a complete and utter failure, which in a lot of cases in Madden 05 it would have been, right? Well, I don't actually have to run another play here.
Yeah, you don't even have to do this punt.
No, I don't. I can just let the clock run out. But I was enjoying myself going over that replay, and I've been having a lot of fun playing this game, actually. In spite of some of the weird bad breaks that we gotten, and some of the weird lucky breaks that we got. And, you know, like I said, I think this game is closer than the score would indicate, right?
Yeah, well, the thing about this game is special teams are really dangerous, and it's a very turnover-heavy game.
Yeah, and that weird you know, punt that I did in the first half there, where it bounced off of that receiving team guy's back.
Yep.
I mean, that was a huge break, right?
There you go. See, the 30 overall punter is a keeper. He's an asset to the team.
Yeah, he is. He's an asset to the team. So if we look at the statistics here, well, the Leopards managed 113 yards on the ground, and I managed 140. And you know, like that kind of numbers is uncommon in Madden 05.
Yep.
For either side, right? You don't usually see both teams rush for an excess of 100 yards.
That's if you'd be lucky if you ever saw the AI do any rushing for like 20 yards.
Yeah, and
in
the
Madden 05.
passing yardage was actually fairly low on both sides, right? Like normally I'm the Mad Bomber, like I'll rack up twice that many yards in a Madden 05 game, but I can't pass freely the way that I do in Madden 05 in Madden 04. Just because the game plays differently.
Yep.
So they got 200 kick return yards, so they had the big kickoff return for a touchdown that I gave up. But yeah, lots of turnovers, right? Four turnovers by them and 2 by us.
Yep.
Interesting, though, you didn't allow them in the red zone at all. They had no red zone attempts. So,
yeah, there was just those long field goals they managed to make.
So any scoring that they did was from outside our 20-yard line. And we did outdo them on time of possession by quite a bit. But this is another thing, too. In Madden 05, there's no penalties.
Yep.
Right? You can play an entire game and not have any penalties at all.
And that's with the penalty sliders max, because we play with the penalty sliders maxed in Madden 05.
Oh, do we? I didn't know that.
Yeah. In Madden 04, though, even with the penalty sliders at like 65, that's the kind of penalties you get. You get a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
If we were to max out the penalties in Madden 04, we'd be playing flag football out there. You'd see 20 penalties each side game.
Yeah, that would be too many. So anyway, I did manage to have an okay day passing. Had pretty good quarterback ratings for both guys. Even Lewis there didn't do too bad. I was 7 of 10 for 37 yards.
Yep.
Which is not a lot of yardage for 7 completions, but, you know.
Hey, you know what? He took care of the ball.
Yeah, I was basically managing the game. So this guy didn't do too bad. He averaged 4 yards per carry. He did fumble the ball once.
But that's to be expected in this game.
Yeah. And this guy here, he didn't do quite as well, but he's not very fast. He's only got like 70 speed or something.
That's right, yep.
So it's tough for him to run away from the defenders. And then we even had our fullback get 1 run for 7 yards. And that's our third string halfback, actually, who got a few carries.
Because he was functioning as your fullback, too, for a little while.
Yeah, and then we had the quarterback fumble there on the attempted pass, too, right? So, Travis Taylor, the wide receiver, led the team in receptions. But Oliver Jones, the tight end, he got 2 touchdown catches. And we only had 1 drop pass. But there you see the longest pass I completed was 23 yards, right? Like I just don't have the ability to throw those long passes like I can in Madden 05 in this game.
Yep.
So there you go.
Well, lots of defensive back tackles.
Yeah. Well, that happens though, right, in a pass-happy offense, right?
Got 1 sack.
Yeah, you did get 1 sack from the scrub left outside linebacker there, the second stringer.
Yeah, and 2 interceptions.
You got a couple of interceptions. But look at all the pass deflections though, right? 7, 8, 9, 10 pass deflections and 2 interceptions. So, like your defenders got their hands on the ball quite a bit.
Yep. Well, and that's just it, though, too, right? Like, they're throwing the ball into crazy tight coverage all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that surprises me is that you didn't get more interceptions than that. But anyway. And it looks like the Leopards quarterbacking did struggle a little. Wow, that guy was really bad. So
yeah, he was the second stringer.
They did throw 43 passes and they only completed 15, right? Oop. And they didn't really run the ball a whole lot.
But they had crazy success at it.
Yeah, they had the 161-yard run there where that guy spun around everybody. And receiving, well, they had a lot of drop passes.
Yep.
5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. But what can you do? You hate to adjust the receivers' sliders or whatever, right? But because of the way that they force balls into coverage. But I don't know.
What might be one of those things necessary? Crank up their catching a little bit.
But anyway, that's it for week 1 of preseason.
Indeed. So, I'm RecB5.
And I'm Sandman99, and hope you enjoyed the beginning of our Christmas edition.
Yeah,
season.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Until next time.